Dług za użytkowanie budynku.
The debt for the use of the Russian Consulate General building, located at 15 Batorego Street in Brzeszcz, which belongs to the state treasury, has been reduced from over 5 million zloty to 2 million zloty. However, the Russians have not paid a single zloty. Who wrote off Russia's debt and why? Today, I took a closer look at the situation. 3 million zloty in debt were enough as a gift to Vladimir Putin, just in time for his birthday, which he is celebrating today. And it is in the Tri-City that the spirit of Russian friendship seems to be alive and well, while Russian missiles continue to attack Ukraine. Surprising news is coming out of Poland under Donald Tusk's government. The Russian consulate in Gdańsk has had most of its debt to the Polish state written off. The Russian consul runs away from our camera, but off camera he stubbornly insists that the matter has been settled long ago.
Konsulatu rosyjskiego w centrum Gdańsk.
The Russians claim that since the Russian consulate building in the center of Gdańsk was destroyed during the war, or perhaps they destroyed it, they are entitled to a building in Brzeszcz. This is a somewhat strange interpretation, because if we look at the history of Gdańsk during World War II, Gdańsk suffered primarily as a result of the actions of the Red Army. It was the Soviets who destroyed Gdańsk and a large part of its buildings and massacred people. The city of Gdańsk is well aware that the Russians have not paid for this property for years, probably since the beginning. The city of Gdańsk manages real estate in the city. It monitors contracts, buildings, and manages debt collection. However, any enforcement of the consulate's debts can only be based on international law, and the president of Gdańsk can only take legally possible actions if they are indicated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Russian consulate does not settle its debts, does not respond to payment requests, and does not respond to debit notes. This building is owned by the state treasury, is managed by the city of Gdańsk, and the Russians' arguments are not based on facts or law, but only on their manipulation of history. We can see that the Russians, despite receiving some goodwill from the city, which I personally find scandalous, the city should not have covered anything up. In addition, they continue to maintain their narrative of ownership of the building, and just as they did not pay before, they do not intend to pay now, and the city continues to be treated by the Russians as an institution that can be milked for money. Just as the Polish consulate can purchase real estate abroad, which is then managed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Russian diplomatic mission can purchase or rent real estate in Poland. But Russia does not pay Poland. What's more, the Polish-Russian Friendship House, which recently moved from another prestigious location to the Russian consulate building, is still operating in Gdańsk. The Polish Ministry of Foreign Affairs is shifting responsibility for debt cancellation to the city. We asked the ministry by who and when this debt was canceled, as well as what steps were taken to collect it. We did not receive a response. Russian diplomats have occupied the premises on Batorego Street since 1951. When they moved in, the buildings had unresolved ownership issues. In the 1970s, the building became the property of the Polish state treasury. This means that rent should be paid to the city for it. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs began issuing bills in 2010. Why was the debt written off now? Unofficially, the changes in the calculation of the debt were made for two reasons: to avoid further aggravating the diplomatic situation between Poland and Russia, but also because of the allegedly unclear status of the villa in Brzeszcz. The facts look very unfavorable. When the Russians claim the right to occupy a Polish building, the authorities simply forgive the debt.